are inside the 5-minute mark for the running of Heat 3A of the 2011 Lucas Oil Madison Regatta. Now, here is the lineup for the Midwest Tube Mills Heat 3A.
Thank you very much, Steve Montgomery. We've already talked about it, but let's run them down one more time. From Madison, Indiana, the U1 Ovoy Alberta, driven by Steve David. He'll be joined by Jeff Bernard aboard the Graham Trucking, the U5. Mike Webster will sit behind the wheel of the Great Scott presents the Broadway Tavern as the U22. And if it's Lake Ridge Paving, the U21 with Brian Perkins at the wheel. He will also be in this heat. And I look down the race course count, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rooster Tails, we are good to go as we are at 3 minutes and approximately 45 seconds to the start of our Midwest Tube Mills Heat 3A. Now, the first part of this start procedure is, remember, you must bring your boat by start-finish line at least one time between the 5-minute and 1-minute gun, and you must come by at not full speed, but at racing speed. Jeff Bernard just did that in the Graham Trucking, the U5. Looking up toward the bridge, we've got Steve David in the Ovoy Alberta up there. We've also got Brian Perkins in the Lake Ridge Paving, the U21. Steve will come down, and this will be his official pass across start-finish line at racing speed, so he has scored himself properly. Brian Perkins is not running very hard right now, and we are 3 minutes until we get to a start. Not sure what Brian is doing, but here comes Brian. He seems to pick it up there just a little bit. He is across the line, and here comes Webster catching a little bit of air in that U22 as he came across start-finish. Perkins now cuts the course, so all of our boats have scored up properly as far as bringing the boat across start-finish line at racing speed. We are at 2 minutes and 37 seconds to our start. Now, we need to keep our eye on some of the maneuvering here to see if we can get to the inside. If we're going to be outside, this is the fighting for lanes, the race before the race that we've talked about. Here comes Steve David cutting across the course. He'll come down the front straightaway, head down toward the first turn as we're at 2 minutes and 15 seconds. We've got some boats out here that need to score some points if they're to have an opportunity to get into that final heat. One of them is Brian Perkins. He is hugging the buoy row as he goes up into the bridge turn, but you see cutting the course coming across right here in front of both he and Mike Webster is Jeff Bernard. Mr. Bernard, I'm going to believe Bernard right now has got his sights set on lane 1, but he hasn't got it yet. Here comes Webster. He comes by hard. We got 1 minute and 48 seconds, so you're going to have to kill about 1 minute between now and the exit pin of that corner. Look at him crawl down that front straightaway. The reason being, we got 1 minute 35 to go. They cannot go past the exit pin where Mike Webster just went until the 45-second mark. Right now, Bernard is in 1, Perkins is in 2, and Steve David is in lane 3. But remember, the exit pin down there is a score-up buoy. It is not the commit buoy. That is at the entrance to the bridge turn. So these lanes can change as we are approaching 1:10, minute 10 before the 45 or before the start of this race. So they're going to kill a little bit of time. Everything is fine. Here comes Webster. He comes down across start-finish line. He will go down and join the field here with inside of 1 minute. You see Steve David start to get a little bit more speed up. He's moved to the outside. We are at 50 seconds right now. They got to kill 5 seconds. Should not be a problem. Now we'll see if there's any games being played as we go past the 45-second mark. Everything appeared from here to be very, very clean. Our lanes have not changed at this point. We'll see if anybody wants to make a maneuver. On someone, you've got to have 5 boat lengths. Right now, it is Bernard in 1. It is still Perkins in 2. It is Steve David in lane 3. And coming up hard on the outside is Mike Webster. We are 25 seconds before the start of our Midwest Tube Mills Heat 3A. Up to the upper corner now, inside 20 seconds. This will be a very interesting run here to see what Brian Perkins can do with that U5 Graham Trucking from lane 1. We're coming off the start. We're inside 10 seconds. We are at 5 seconds. Good looking start. Good looking run to the line. We're 2, 1. He has the lead across start-finish line. Second boat across the line with Steve David in the Ovoy Alberta. It's a clean start. That's official. Down at corner, Jeff Bernard. He set that thing in lane 1. He's won this all weekend. He's in good position, but there's a lot of speed coming on up behind him. You know, Steve David's back there. You can see him on the outside, lane number 3. And we've also got Perkins. He's in third place, and he is on the inside of Steve David. Jeff Bernard still got a nice lead on Steve there. How hard is Steve there? Oh my goodness, the water is getting very, very rough out there, and these guys are really going back and forth. We've got an accident down in the lower corner. We've got the 21, the Lake Ridge Paving, Brian Perkins. The racers being struck down. We've had an accident down in the first turn. And the 21 with Brian Perkins. The boat is laying in the infield down there. The canopy lid is up. And I am going to be very, very honest. I do not know exactly what happened down there in the lower corner. I was watching the boats go into the upper turn. I'm going to bring Dan Cole in here. I believe Dan may have had his eyes down in that corner. Dan, what did you see?
Yeah, Brad, as Brad was coming back, he missed the buoy, and he was coming back around to pick the buoy up. It looked like he hit one of the safety rescue boats or a buoy. I couldn't really tell, but it did look like one of the safety rescue boats.
Captain Perry, is that what you saw? Did you have your eyes down there as well?
Yeah, sure enough. He was trying to cut that back there, trying to get back around the buoy, and sure enough, that boat was right in the way. He overturned and slammed right in.
Thank you very, very much, and I appreciate you bringing it to my attention. I was watching the leaders go into the upper corner. I had seen him spin down there, and I knew he was going back to pick up a buoy, but then I took my eyes off him. A couple of sets of eyes up here were on him at the time.
Oh, people shit.
And we will not try and speculate anything at this point. We will just have to wait along with everybody else. Unfortunately, we have had an accident down in the lower corner in our Heat 3A involving the U-21, the Lake Ridge Paving, and apparently a patrol boat.
Looks like there's people laying on the, see it?
A very difficult situation down there, and we, along with everybody else, are just going to have to wait and see. Dan, I'm going to turn this over to you. Have you hang this here. I am going to keep my eye on the official radio here and see what